Monsters aren't always cloaked in darkness. Sometimes they wear familiar faces. They live next door, laugh at barbecues, and go unnoticed until the mask slips. In this world, evil doesn't always look like a villain. Sometimes it looks like someone you thought you knew. He played the part, kissed his daughters goodnight, told his pregnant wife he loved her. But behind the smile he showed the world was something monstrous, an evil plan, a lie, a man willing to murder his entire family. In the quiet suburb of Frederick, the Watts family seemed perfect. 2 beautiful children, a baby boy on the way, loving social media posts. But behind closed doors, it was a completely different story. Chris had fallen for someone else, a coworker. And with every lie he told Shanann, with every secret text and whispered promise, he was building a new life. One that didn't include his wife or his children. On August 13th, 2018, Shanann came home from a business trip. She was 15 weeks pregnant. That night, Chris made his decision. By morning, she was gone. So were the kids. When police arrived to perform a welfare check, Chris Watts slipped into a role he had rehearsed well. The anxious husband, the worried father. He pulled into the driveway just as officers arrived, alongside Shanann's close friend, Nicole Atkinson, who had been the first to sound the alarm. Nicole had grown increasingly concerned after Shanann missed a doctor's appointment and failed to respond to texts and calls all morning, something entirely out of character. As the officer approached the door, Chris did something strange. He vanished into the garage for several minutes before finally letting them in. It was a subtle, unsettling pause that would later raise red flags. Inside the house, an eerie calm lingered. Chris casually mentioned that he and Shanann had argued the night before and claimed she had taken the girls and left. But his story felt paper-thin. The house was immaculate, too perfect. Shanann's purse sat untouched, her phone still charging, her car parked in the garage. No signs of packing, no signs of a hasty exit. Something didn't add up. And deep down, Nicole knew something was terribly wrong. Then came the interviews. Chris went on TV, pleaded for his family's return, lied to millions with the same face he showed his daughters the night he killed them. Calm, controlled, deceitful. But the footage betrayed him. A neighbor's security camera, quietly watching from across the street, captured a telling scene. Chris backing his truck into the driveway under the cover of early morning darkness. The silhouette of a man making multiple trips, loading something heavy into the back. When questioned, Chris claimed he was simply loading tools for work. But his body language said otherwise, fidgeting, avoiding eye contact, visibly unraveling. The story was cracking, the mask was slipping, and soon the truth would be impossible to hide. After hours under the weight of interrogation, Chris Watts finally broke, but not with the truth. Instead, he spun a grotesque lie, claiming that Shanann had killed their daughters, and in a fit of rage, he took her life. A desperate, despicable attempt to rewrite the horror he had committed. It wasn't just a lie. It was character assassination from beyond the grave. Because Chris hadn't lost control in the moment. He had planned it. He had murdered them all. And even in death, he tried to cast himself as the grieving husband, the broken father, the victim. But monsters don't get to wear masks forever. Chris strangled and smothered his family. He killed Shanann by strangulation, staring into her eyes as he watched her take her last breath. Once he realized the horrors of his act, he decided what he would do next. He loaded Shanann's body into the back of his truck before putting the kids in the truck as well. With a cold malice, he smothered his children. And then, he forced their tiny bodies into oil tanks, barely wide enough to fit their shoulders, like garbage to be hidden. He buried Shanann and their unborn son, Nico, in a shallow grave. Then, he went to work, as if nothing happened. He lied to police. He lied to the world. He told them he didn't know where they were. He gave interviews. He cried crocodile tears. All while knowing their broken bodies lay rotting in an oil field. This wasn't a crime of passion. This was premeditated slaughter. And the lies, they were just as cold as the murders. Why? Because Chris Watts wanted freedom, to be with his mistress, to erase his responsibilities. He chose annihilation over honesty, a life soaked in blood over a divorce. He was sentenced to life, 5 times over. But no sentence can capture the void he left, a family erased, lives stolen, and a chilling truth that evil doesn't always come with a warning. If this story interested you, please like, comment, and subscribe for more real-life horror stories.